What is up, you guys? Thank you for joining me on today's video. Welcome here if you are new. We are doing part 4 of the series that I am doing. Please check out part 1, 2, and 3 where we talk about pregnancy, labor and delivery, and postpartum care. We are going to be finishing up this room today. In my last video, if you guys saw in part 3, I did a whole bunch of laundry. So today we're going to be putting all of that away, and we are going to be finishing up all the little things in the baby's bedroom. So please bear with me. I am in a closet while I'm doing this voiceover. All of my kids are outside. You would not believe that 3 people in the living room can be that loud. So sorry about that if you hear any noise, you guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this video, we're going to be talking about newborn care, infant care, child care, all those things. So pretty much when you're in the hospital and you have your newborn, one thing that you want to make sure that you do is feed them a lot. So you're going to hear doctors say, or some pediatricians say, oh, only feed them every 2 hours or 4 hours or whatever, and don't feed them more often than that. You guys, I have never followed that rule, and I've heard of other people that did, and then their newborn ended up very gassy, having an empty stomach, crying a lot. So honestly, what I did was I just fed all of my kids a lot. Whether you decide to breastfeed, exclusively pump, or go to formula, regardless of what method you choose to use, definitely feed your kids. Anytime my kids would start getting fussy or crying, I would go ahead and either breastfeed them or get a bottle of formula ready. So, and that usually seemed to do the trick. Every baby is different. Some babies have bigger appetites. Some babies grow faster and burn more calories. So keep that in mind. It's not always like a cut and dry rule for every baby. So make sure you burp your baby as well. They should let out little burps at the beginning. As they grow older, they will let out bigger burps, and it should usually be like one solid burp and that's it. I pretty much stopped burping the kids when they were around, let me think, maybe like 6 months or 7 months old. Usually that's when they start burping on their own. It will just come up after they finished eating. But make sure when they're little, you definitely keep them upright 15 minutes after they're done eating. You can overfeed a baby. So if you notice that they have milk coming through their nose when they sneeze, or if they lay down, you're either laying them down too quickly after they eat, or 2, you overfed them. So feed them frequently, but don't overfeed them. So at the beginning, you're going to notice that you're only going to give them a couple milliliters here and there. It's going to turn into an ounce, 2 ounces, 3 ounces as they get bigger. Only feed them what they want to take, and then burp them and hold them upright for about 15 minutes. And then usually that does the trick. So that's what I have to say about feeding. When it comes to changing your baby's diapers, you want to change them frequently, in the sense of not every time they pee do you put a new diaper, but after a couple pees you're going to want to change it so that they don't get a diaper rash, because the moisture can definitely cause a rash. You definitely should use a like a paste for rash. Something that works, generally speaking, is zinc oxide. That works wonders. Anything that has zinc oxide or zinc, that will take away diaper rash and works as a barrier for the moisture. So there's a bunch of options on Amazon, Walmart. Just make sure you do your research, but look for the main ingredient is zinc, and that helps out a lot. So diaper rash is just going to look like either raised bumps or red skin. Usually they come together. Sometimes it's just red skin. So yes, definitely make sure that you're changing the diapers frequently. If you're having a boy, it is, I would say it's definitely easier. If it's a girl, make sure that you're changing very frequently, wiping front to back to avoid infection. What else? Anytime that my babies did number 2, I always wash them. I don't just use a wipe. I know most people wipe their babies, but I always washed them anytime. So this can be a little drying to the skin, so make sure that you're using a lotion for them, a baby safe lotion. But anytime that my kids went number two, I would always wash them, at least from the waist down, and make sure that I got everything out, especially if you have a girl. You sometimes don't see that the feces in certain areas, so make sure that you're checking. And a wipe usually doesn't, sit well with me, just a wipe. So what I usually do is always wash them and then pass a wipe after to make sure that I got everything. And the wipe should come out clean. So yes, definitely keep that in mind. What else? So once you are discharged from the hospital and you and baby are home, something that may throw you off, but this is actually completely normal, is that babies sleep for a really long time. So babies will want to sleep, or I should say newborns will want to sleep 16 to 18 hours a day. Only when they're about 2 to 4 months do their wake windows start getting longer. So they will be awake for maybe 3 to 4 hours at a time. So allow them to get that rest that they need. That 16 to 18 hours at the beginning. They're not going to be asleep for 16 to 18 hours straight. They will wake up to feed, but then once you feed them, burp them, and put them back to sleep, they are usually good to go for another stretch of however many hours. Something that I did at the beginning was I was waking up my baby every 2.5 hours. This was with my first baby. I would wake that baby up every 2.5 hours to eat, and I noticed that that baby was like super grouchy, like super gassy, and I think it was also because that 2.5 hours, the milk wouldn't have digested yet. So that baby was just very frustrated. So I kind of learned a lot from my first child. So the next time what I did was I let that baby sleep as long as the baby wanted, and I only fed the baby when the baby would wake up and would take a bottle. Just because I noticed that sometimes they will sleep 4 hours straight, and once they wake up, then they're actually hungry and ready to eat. So definitely pay attention to how your baby's patterns are, because like I said, not all babies are the same. Every baby is different. So definitely keep that in mind. They do sleep for a long time, and this is completely normal. Another thing that I want to mention was there's a lot of bottles that market themselves as anti-colic, so they're supposed to help with preventing the baby from getting gassy. I have found that none of the bottles that I've tried, and I think I tried 5 different brands, none of them worked. My first child was unfortunately the guinea pig, so that poor baby had a lot of gas and very colicky and crying a lot. And once we found this particular bottle, it was smooth sailing from there. This is the only true anti-colic bottle that I have found, and the brand is called Mom, M-A-M. I started buying all my kids that bottle, and that is the only type of bottle I use. The reason why I like it is it does have the anti-colic feature. It's in the bottom of the bottle, so it doesn't have like a flapper or a tongue or any of these weird things. It's actually in the bottom. So as the baby is sucking, the air is being pushed out through the bottom. And that has seemed to work great for all my kids. And yes, so that's the bottle that we use. What's great about it is that you can just switch out the nipples. So you can buy, a anti-colic bottle, and then like a toddler, like the bottle that doesn't have the anti-colic anymore. It's like a long neck bottle. I think it's probably like 11 ounces it holds in there, and that's like for when your baby's like now a toddler. So I have that one as well. My firstborn uses that one now. And I also have the sippy cup, which is just to transition them from the bottle to the to drinking out of a regular cup. And all you have to do is exchange nipples. So you just go on maybe Amazon and you can buy the nipples and just exchange them between all those bottles. You don't need to buy a new bottle every time. So that saved me a lot of money. And yeah, so that's something to definitely pay attention to, is the bottles that you're using. Another thing that is really important is once you get home, especially even if you're in the hospital, maybe you have a lot of friends or family, definitely do not be afraid to ask people to wear masks. A lot of people are often sick and do not know that they're sick, and babies don't necessarily get sick just if somebody has a cold or a COVID or anything like that. It can be just being exposed to new bacteria. So if there's a lot of people that are holding the baby, passing the baby around, talking close to the baby's face, babies can get sick just from new bacteria. So limit the amount of people that you have visiting, and try to keep that circle small when it comes to who's going to be holding the baby. Make sure they wash their hands before they hold your baby, because there's a lot of germs on your hand. You touch, a lot of doorknobs and car doors, steering wheel, and whoever it is that's coming to either help you out or visit you. So definitely do not sleep on that, because I'm telling you guys, babies can get sick so easily, and that's something that you don't want to deal with when they're newborn, because that is a whole nother story. Having a sick baby on your hands while you're postpartum is craziness. So definitely keep that in mind, you guys. And keep on top of their vaccinations. That's a big thing. Get them vaccinated. If you are going to get them vaccinated, definitely do it sooner rather than later, so that they build that immunity, so that they can be exposed to maybe more people as they get older, and it'll be safer, because they would have that immunity to fight off whatever sickness they would have been exposed to. So yeah, you guys, this is actually going to be the end of the part 4. That's pretty much everything that I can think of off the top of my head. Babies are pretty easy to take care of, but if you ever have any questions, like maybe you are dealing with a newborn and you are, you're struggling, or there's something that you don't know, feel free to leave a comment below and I will definitely answer your comment. I know that there's a lot of, questions and different things, and I found myself going through the same thing with my firstborn, so it's completely normal. But yeah, you guys, I really hope that this series helped you out if you are a new expecting mom, or if you are looking to help somebody else out. And thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. All right, you guys, take care. Bye now.